Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Bruno Fernandes doesn't want to leave the club. He's happy to stay at Old Trafford as talks over a contract go on. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. Bruno Fernandes has like 5 years left on his contract, and at the moment he receives £100,000 a week. If he signs a new contract, I think he will receive between £250,000 to £300,000 a week. Fernandes has been at Manchester United over a year and a half now. He's our best player, and he's one of the best signings we have made since Ferguson retired. In most of his games at Man United he's been very consistent, but there's also been a few games where he's looked off the pace. Last weekend Bruno Fernandes scored his first hat-trick. Got his first hat-trick for Manchester United. Which was good to see. Last season, Bruno Fernandes won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Bruno Fernandes back in January 2020 from Sporting Lisbon. Now, Raphael Varane and Jadon Sancho must start against Southampton tomorrow. Now, Raphael Varane to Manchester United was official last weekend just before the kick-off against Leeds. Obviously, if Varane plays in this game tomorrow, that will be his debut for Man United. We got Raphael Varane in a deal worth £43 million. Obviously with add-ons included. Man United paid £34 million up front. Varane signed a 4-year contract with Man United. There's an option of a further year, and Varane is wearing that number 19 shirt. At one point the Raphael Varane announcement was delayed due to the image rights, and the other week he completed his medical. Varane is our third signing of this summer transfer window. What a fantastic centre-back partnership that is, Varane and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a fantastic pedigree as a player because he won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid. He won like Champions Leagues, La Ligas, the Coupe de Rey, won FIFA Club World Cups, and back in 2018 he won the World Cup with France. Varane did endure 10 years with Real Madrid, so he was a long-serving player. He made 360 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid did offer Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. His current contract at Real Madrid was due to expire next year. Don't forget, we went in for Varane back in 2011 under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We also went in for him back in 2018 because if you do remember, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. Jadon Sancho, he made his debut for Man United in the game against Leeds last weekend. He came off the bench. Obviously, if Jadon Sancho starts tomorrow, that will be his full Premier League debut. Jadon Sancho to Man United was confirmed on the 23rd of July. We got Sancho in a deal worth £78 million with add-ons included. Sancho is under contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. I think Sancho will do very well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him right. I'm expecting Manchester United to beat Southampton tomorrow. You know, we've got a very, very good away record in the Premier League. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, and we have had a good start to the season. You know, we beat Leeds last weekend 5-1, and not so long ago we beat Burnley in that behind closed doors game 3-1. Southampton lost their opening game against Everton 3-1, and like I mentioned on the preview, I think Southampton are going to really struggle this season. They've lost key players. Obviously they lost Danny Ings in the summer. He went to Aston Villa. They also lost Bertrand to Leicester. They lost Vestergaard to Leicester. They've lost a lot of other good players as well. Southampton have lost players like Cedric Soares to Arsenal, lost Holberg to Tottenham, lost Luke Shaw to us back in 2014. They also lost Virgil van Dijk quite a few years ago to Liverpool. They also lost Nathaniel Klein to Liverpool. They lost Dejan Lovren to Liverpool. They lost Adam Lallana to Liverpool and lost Sadio Mane to Liverpool. Liverpool have done very good business with Southampton, and Southampton also lost Charlie Austin, and he was one of their key players. Southampton obviously made some signings in the summer. They brought Adam Armstrong in. I think he'll be in contention to play in this game tomorrow. I think he made his debut last week against Everton for Southampton. They also brought Valentino Livramento in. They brought Armando Broja in. And they also brought Roman Parod in. Theo Walcott is now back at Southampton because he was with Everton last season. Southampton did have Mina Mima on loan, but now he's gone back to Liverpool. James Ward-Prowse, I don't know if he's going to be available in this game because I heard that he's been out with injury. Didn't he miss some of Southampton's pre-season friendly games? I like James Ward-Prowse though. Romeu, he's another one of Southampton's key players. He was out with injury for a while last season. Nathan Redmond, he's one of their key players. I think he'll be in contention to play in this game. Southampton have also got Stuart Armstrong, who's pretty good. They've got Shane Long. Obafemi, I've got to say, he's one of their key players. Southampton have also got Che Adams. They've got Teller. They've got Kyle Walker-Peters. They've got Harry Lewis, Alex McCartney. I think their first choice goalkeeper is Forster. Southampton's current manager is Ralph Hasenhüttl. He's been Southampton manager now for a few years. He's under contract with Southampton until 2024. I think he has transformed Southampton, to be honest with you. I thought Southampton were very consistent when they had Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino actually guided Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League, which I think was 8th. We beat Southampton in this fixture last season, 3-2, we overcame a 2-goal deficit. And last season we beaten them 9-0 at Old Trafford. It was the first time we'd scored 9 goals since the 9-0 win against Ipswich back in 1995. Solskjaer did mention in his press conference though that 9-0 game was just a one-off. Obviously now we've got some players back. Obviously Phil Jones recovered from injury, made his comeback against Burnley in that behind closed doors game. Phil Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. Phil Jones is staying at Manchester United this season after Solskjaer tells him he remains part of his first team plans. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Jones has been a long-serving player though, he's endured 10 years at the club. Eric Bailly is now back, I think. I think Edison Cavani's, is he back now or close to returning? Lingard's back. Not so long ago Lingard had COVID. So there you go. So there's still some out at the moment. Dean Henderson is still unavailable at the moment because Dean Henderson has been recovering from COVID. Alex Telles is unavailable because he sustained an ankle injury in training before the start of the season. Telles wouldn't have been in contention to play anyway in this game. Obviously there's no Marcus Rashford. He's got a shoulder injury. I'm hearing now he could be back before October, but it said at the first he's out until October because earlier on in the summer Rashford decided to have surgery on his shoulder. But I think in this game against Southampton, Solskjaer will probably go with a similar lineup to how he did do against Leeds, but obviously he will make some changes. After Southampton we do play Wolves. That should be another win for Man United. That's away from home Wolves. After Wolves it's Newcastle, then it's West Ham. So we should win our next 4 games. You know the news on the transfers. Recently I gave you the news on Ruben Neves from Wolves. Sky Sports said that Bruno Lage wants to keep Ruben Neves, but says every player has a price. Now, Man United are still interested in signing Ruben Neves, as Wolves set a transfer price for a late deal. Now, Wolves want £40 million for Ruben Neves, which is a reasonable fee. Earlier on in the summer, Ruben Neves hinted that he'd made a decision on his future and he called any talks of a transfer away, because he's happy at Wolves, and he revealed his excitement of working alongside Bruno Lage. It said earlier on in the summer that Man United were leading Arsenal in the race for Ruben Neves, and it said that Wolves were ready to sell him. I'd take Ruben Neves at Man United because he would fit in our team perfectly. He's well proven in the Premier League, still young, got a lot of development in him still. And if he came to Man United, I'd be convinced he'd replicate what he's produced with Wolves. Wolves paid £15.8 million for him from Porto, and he's got a contract with Wolves until 2024. But Wolves know how much of an imperative player he is. You know, last year Wolves lost Jota, and Wolves have struggled since losing him. They also lost Matt Doherty. You know the news on Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes. Man United have paused the pursuit of Eduardo Camavinga at the moment. Eduardo Camavinga's agent, Jonathan Barnett, said that Camavinga is in no hurry to decide his future. Fabrizio Romano's spoken a lot about the Camavinga transfer saga, and he did say that Camavinga has 2 options this summer, including Man United. He says Man United and PSG are yet to make any offers. Camavinga's contract showdown continues with Rennes. His current contract expires next year. Now, the Sun said not so long ago that Man United are in a 2-horse race with PSG for Camavinga. Rennes are demanding £25 million, but not so long ago Rennes confirmed that Camavinga will leave this summer. Man United are still in for Declan Rice. By the way, Declan Rice is unhappy with his 100 million valuation. That makes it impossible for him to leave West Ham because West Ham are demanding too much. Like I've said before, Declan Rice is not worth 100 million. I probably think he's worth between 50 to 60 million pound. Declan Rice has been at West Ham for 7 years or so. He's got a contract with them till 2024. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, Rice, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. I like the way he breaks up the play. The other week it said that Man United was still interested in Solniguez from Atletico Madrid. We've also been interested in Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich. But Solskjaer's priority is to get a midfielder in. Solskjaer did confirm that he wants Man United to make one more signing in this summer transfer window. But like I updated you earlier on today, he says Man United are unlikely to make any more signings before the transfer window closes. The transfer window closes in just under 2 weeks. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer spoke out on Man United's transfer plans. He said any more signings would be a bonus for Man United. But Solskjaer has been very pleased with our transfer business. And I think Man United have enjoyed a good summer transfer window. You know, we have made good signings. We've made 3 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa. We brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, and we brought Varane in from Real Madrid. And we spent around £120 million. And Solskjaer has received the backing he deserves. Surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers, have backed Solskjaer, only because they've been persuaded to. Woodward said several times before that he'd back Solskjaer, and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe even when we was enduring them really bad periods. Obviously, Woodward's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time, just like the Glazers. Woodward is leaving Man United. It got announced he was leaving when that European Super League came into the equation towards the end of last season. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club, and John Murtough, he's played a part in getting Solskjaer the signings that he wanted in. John Murtough is our director of football, and Man United certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes that we needed at the club. Plus Darren Fletcher, you know, he's been part of the club for a long time. This summer transfer window has been Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. By the way, Man United have not sold one single player in this summer transfer window, and Solskjaer was obviously warned that he has to sell to get more signings on the board. Yeah, we've loaned quite a few players out. Andres Pereira recently joined Flamengo on loan. Ethan Laird, he joined Swansea on loan. Maxel Tuanzebe, he's gone to Aston Villa on loan. We loaned Tahith Chon out to Birmingham. We also loaned Facundo Pellistri out again. We loaned Pellistri out back in January. Looks like Brandon Williams is going out on loan to Norwich. I initially thought Amad Diallo was going to be going out on loan, but now Amad Diallo may not be going out on loan. Solskjaer said he could be staying, because Solskjaer said he's been impressed with Amad Diallo's training. He said that in his press conference building up to the game against Southampton. But it said recently that Amad Diallo was 90% certain to leave Man United on loan in the coming weeks. You know, it mentioned that Sheffield United were interested, and Romano mentioned that Crystal Palace and Basel registered an interest in signing Amad Diallo on loan. January, we did loan Jesse Lingard out. You know, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Now, I recently give you the news on Jesse Lingard. Solskjaer confirmed that Lingard remains part of his plans this season, despite the ongoing speculation. The Times said that Lingard is ready to leave Man United if he doesn't play regularly. Now, Premier League Live said that Lingard's actually agreed to join West Ham on loan in this summer transfer window. Well, West Ham received a huge boost in their pursuit of Lingard, because it said we dropped our asking price for Lingard to 20 million. Initially, we was demanding 30 million, and West Ham's first team coach Stuart Pearce said that West Ham want to sign Lingard, and he mentioned that he's a special lad, and Fabrizio Romano mentioned that West Ham are going to submit another bid. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. We loaned Tiedemann Mengi out back in January as well to Derby, didn't we? Last season we loaned Diego Dalot out to AC Milan. Pereira was out on loan with Lazio last season as well. James Garner, you know, he's going out on loan. I think he's been on loan before, hasn't he? We've loaned Dylan Levitt out before. Dishan Bernard's also been loaned out before. So, there you go. But we've got to sell somebody in this summer transfer window. I'm expecting us to sell some players in January of next year. More players as well will leave next summer. I've told you the players I want to leave. I want Phil Jones to go, but he won't at this moment in time. I said I want Williams to go out on loan. I want Diego Dalot to go, but he recently said it looks very, very likely that Diego Dalot is going to be staying. I want Matic to go. I want Martial to go. I said I want Juan Mata to go. So, there you go. And you do know the news on Paul Pogba. Solskjaer says that talks are ongoing with Pogba's representatives to persuade Pogba to sign a new contract. Now, it said Pogba is set to not sign a new contract this year, but Pogba has refused to rule out a new deal. Now, it recently said Man United is set to make Pogba the highest paid player at the club with a new 5-year contract worth £400,000 a week. On Pogba's current contract at the moment, he receives £290,000 a week. Pogba's current contract expires next summer. Now, it did recently say from Sky Sports that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer when his contract expires, and he said he's set to join PSG on a free. It says PSG are pushing hard to sign Pogba next summer, and PSG are prepared to offer Pogba a £510,000 a week contract to prize him away from Man United. PSG's move for Pogba this summer hit a stumbling block as they got Lionel Messi. But Pogba is expected to stay at Man United for at least this season. Before the Leeds game, Solskjaer said he was relaxed over media magnate Pogba. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer revealed that he had positive talks with Pogba over his future. And he said Pogba's in no hurry to sort out his future, and the Telegraph said before the start of the season that Pogba would start the season with Man United, then he'd make a decision about his future before the 31st of August. Sky Sports said before the start of the season that Pogba can see a long-term future at Man United but may wait on the contract extension. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a contract at Man United. As you all know, Pogba got 4 assists last weekend against Leeds. Should have got his name on the score sheet as well because he had a fantastic chance in the game, and Pogba produced good performances for Man United last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while and he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. But Mino Raiola has been working hard to get Pogba out of the club. Mino Raiola did a lot of talking last season, and he made an announcement back in December last year saying that Pogba's career at Man United was over. He said he was unhappy and he had to leave and he had no intentions of extending his contract. We're being very critical of Mino Raiola. He doesn't have a good relationship with the club. This is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and we paid $89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. This morning I spoke with you about Kylian Mbappe. ESPN said that Man United have made Kylian Mbappe a transfer target. We're eyeing a potential move for Kylian Mbappe next summer when he could be available on a 3. Because his current contract at PSG expires next year. Mbappe's likely destination is Real Madrid. He wants to go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid will attempt to sign Mbappe from the 30th of August. Mbappe is a young prospect, only the age of 22. Second most expensive player, isn't he? Because PSG got him in a deal worth €180 million with add-ons included. He's actually the most expensive teenager, but at one point PSG did have him on loan, and then PSG made him permanent in 2018. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.